What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Research channel. I'm Mia Matt, and I hope you're all doing great. There's never a dull day at Chelsea, is there? Chelsea just beat Brighton 3-2 at Stamford Bridge in a very, very nervy game, especially towards the end. And yeah, today's review is going to be a happy one, yet a concerning one too as well. So let's get straight into it. So there were a few changes that were made from the last game that we played against Newcastle because of the suspension that James got and Cucurella got. So we had to put Sassi at the right back position and put Liverpool at the left back position. And I think they did pretty well in that position too. And then another change that we made from last week's game was that Palmer was on the bench and Modric started the game. That was all for the changes, but everything remained the same. We started the game with a lot of energy. We wanted to see a response. We wanted to see a response from them, and then that is what we got in the beginning. And the game started very, very well because I was very, very confident watching the game that we would score a goal anytime soon. But Brighton were being relentless, man, at the back. They were very, very strong at the back, and then they were breaking down some of our passing sequences, but still, some of them were still going through. But we're able to break down that Brighton line, especially in the first 17, 18 minutes. And in the 19 minutes, we got our goal from Enzo, which was a very, very good goal. It came from a corner, a set piece, and Chelsea fans, we want to score more from set pieces. Last week, we scored a brilliant free kick from Raheem Sterling, and then this week too, we've gotten two goals from corners. The first one came from Enzo, very good cross from the corner into the box, and it seemed like it was something that they were working on from the training ground. But the second one came in the same way, and then Badiashile was able to bring it back in, and Enzo was there to head it for the first goal of the game. And I was happy for Enzo. Very good goal from Enzo. He's been trying to score in previous games, and now he scores not from the shots that he's been trying, but from a header. And yeah, it put us on a good start. And then just shortly after, I think about 3 or 4 minutes after, Liverpool got his first goal for Chelsea. It also came from a similar routine. The corner was floated in. It seemed like it was lost, and then Nicholas Jackson headed it back in, and Liverpool was there to head it into the goal. And needed the goal line technology to check, but it was way over the line, and the players knew that it was way over the line, even though the Brighton players were trying to talk against it. Even with this technology, I don't know why players still talk against it, try to defend that it didn't cross the line. But technology has proved to be perfect. I think just one staff saying that it didn't work properly, but 99% of the time it was working. It's working well. And Liverpool got his first goal for Chelsea in the senior side, and it's a shame that he couldn't celebrate because of history he has with Brighton. He was there on loan, so he has for them. So remember, it was very difficult for us to get him away from Brighton because there were rumors that he might stay at Brighton because he will not get a place at Chelsea, he will not get a place to play in the senior squad, but he's at Chelsea and definitely he's playing well for Chelsea. So I'm happy that he's at Chelsea, and I'm happy that I got his first goal for the club. And then a little bit of a mishap happened at the back. I don't know whether it was lack of concentration or not, because Badiashile and Thiago Silva were on Benranote, and I was expecting Benranote to get that shot off, but he got cut in from the right side, and he bent a beautiful ball away from the reach of Sanchez, and it was 2-1. And then I don't know what happened with Gallagher. I don't know what happened with Gallagher at all, because James red card that he had in the last game, at least you could say that was out of frustration, because we're 3-1 down at the time, so you could see that probably tempers were rising, even though the two fouls that I made were both silly fouls. I don't get it with Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher has been one of our best players this season, and I don't know why he did that. I mean, the first tackle that he made was very, very silly. I think the second tackle was better than the first one, but I feel like the second one, he got the ball, probably not in the cleanest, but he got the ball. But I think Gilmore also acted it up a bit and went down. But he definitely clipped Gilmore. The first one was completely unnecessary. I thought he shouldn't have done that. But the second one came in, and then he got a second yellow card, and then he had to be sent off. And now we're going to the halftime with 10 men instead of 11, instead of coming back stronger and trying to get more goals. He went down 10 man, and I feel like he shouldn't have done. And today too, he was the captain, so I felt like he shouldn't have done that. This is why we needed Thiago Silva to be the captain, because Thiago Silva will keep his head in this kind of things, and he knows that he's already on a yellow card. He will know how to behave. We know what tackles to make, and I feel like there's so much discipline in this squad, because we have so many yellow cards. We have three red cards so far this season. They have to really be calm and know what tackles to make and how to operate on the pitch, especially when you have a yellow card. It's crazy how they behave sometimes. But yeah, so he was yellow carded, and then he had to go off, and then we're 10 man down. It's going to be difficult. And the way Chelsea have been playing recently, you would think that when Brighton push a little bit, they're going to equalize. And I really thought they were going to equalize, but they didn't equalize. We came back into the second half strong, even though they were also pressing, but we came out strong where our defensive line was solid. I had a problem with Sanchez because I feel like Sanchez, anytime they passed the ball back to him, then he was shaky. It reminded me a little bit of Mendy the latter part of his career at Chelsea. And there was one time where they passed the ball to him and he wasn't able to control the ball well, and the ball went underneath his feet. And if there was enough pace on that ball, that would have been a goal. But there wasn't enough pace on that ball, so he was able to recover it and pass it out. And he did that a couple of times. Anytime he had the ball, there was pressure on him and to pass it out, and then he passed it out wrongly, or he kicked the ball out for a throw in. I don't know. He needs to work on that. He really needs to work on that. But yeah, so in the second half, able to get a third goal from Modric securing a penalty. That penalty, to be frank, I didn't think it was a penalty because I thought it was 50-50 chance. After the replay, I think the referee also went to look, and the referee thought Nona pushed him off the ball, especially with the pace at which that they were going. I don't know what the new rules are, but according to the new rules, probably that was a penalty. But I don't know whether this referee officiated the game very well, in my opinion, because it seemed like a lot of some of his decisions were shaky. He was dishing out yellow cards for things that they were not supposed to be done. And the yellow cards they were supposed to give, he didn't give. Because Caicedo was very, very lucky to be staying on the pitch as long as he did for the full 90. Because when he immediately got a yellow card, I was like, no, this guy is going to blow off. Because the kind of tackles he was making was really, really poor. And then even after the yellow cards, he was making those silly tackles again, and he's very lucky that the referee didn't give him a second yellow. But I feel like Caicedo should have gone off after one or two challenges after he got a yellow card, but he was still on, and that's advantage to us. I don't like when players do that. Like, you're on a yellow card, you're still making silly challenges. It doesn't make sense to me. So the penalty was given, and Enzo got a brace. He stood up to the spot and started it in fully down the middle and got a brace. And I'm happy for him. I think it's the first time I've got a brace in Chelsea Palace, and hopefully this opens up his goal scoring abilities. We know how good he was in his previous team, was scoring goals from long range. He has tried a lot of long range shots at Chelsea, but it doesn't really work out for him. I'm hoping that this builds his confidence and he's able to score more goals at Chelsea. So at that point, we were controlling the game quite a bit, and then getting to the injury time, getting to the end, Brighton was trying to get into the game more and more and more. And then Brighton scored their second from a corner, and Pedro was the one who was able to head it. I think he flicked it, and it went above Sanchez, and Sanchez couldn't save it. Sanchez he also kept us in the game because he made very good saves. When that goal came for Brighton, everything changed. The game became hot. The game became very, very heated up because they gave 10 minutes in added time, and that was outrageous. But I think because of the VAR decision in the second half, that's what happened. I don't know, but 10 minutes for me is a lot. And then there was a penalty shout. There was a serious penalty shout that clearly looked like it hit Liverpool's head and not his hands, but for some reason VAR was unsure. We all saw it, but VAR was unsure, and they told the referee to go and check. The referee decided to go and check, and he gave a penalty. I don't understand why he still gave a penalty when he had checked. We were all looking at the same camera that he was looking at, the same angle that he was looking at, and he still gave a penalty. I don't understand why he gave the penalty, but he gave the penalty and VAR overturned it. So when VAR overturned it, that's when the issue came, because he gave the penalty and everybody was shouting and screaming. The Brighton fans were shouting and screaming. The Chelsea fans were clearly upset because the ones that were closer to Liverpool clearly saw that it hit Liverpool's head and not his hands. And we also saw it on the replay too as well. But VAR overturned it, and then there was a little issue between the Brighton fans and the Brighton players and then the Chelsea players. And then we were able to run the clock down. We took a while because I felt like instead of every blowing the whistle at the 10th minute mark, we blew it at the 14-minute mark. We played 14 minutes in added time, and I don't know. But we held on and we won, and we got the 3 points. That's what matters. But I feel like we still have certain holes in the team that we need to sort out. The discipline problem has to be fixed. The discipline problem has to be fixed. We have to reduce the number of yellow cards, red cards that we are getting this season. It's crazy. We don't want to be doing that and losing valuable players to suspension like we lost James and Cucurella, because Cucurella had so many yellow cards and James had the second yellow. So now I'm going to lose Conor Gallagher for the next game because he's been one of our strongest players. He's been one of our best players, and it's unfortunate to lose him for the next game. But I know we're going to get a suitable replacement. I'm sure Ugochukwu will probably slot in. So yeah, so we won the game. Nevi at the end, but we still got the 3 points, and then we are 10th on the table. I hate saying that we are 10th, but that's what Chelsea is now, and hopefully gets closer and closer to top 4 as the season progresses, and maybe we can even make top 4. So yeah, that's been it for my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, kindly subscribe, hit the like button. It helps the channel a lot. It pushes the video out there for other Chelsea fans to also see this video. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe.